Hello, everyone. Today is June 16th. My name is Willie.
My name is Brian, of course.
Et nous tournons décalage.
We are shooting
the shift in French.
We're trying.
24-hour du LeMans is going on right now, so we're trying to do our part.
LeMans or LeMans
Oui?
if you're American.
We. I just say we.
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 Both of us.
Yeah, this is just
Us?
yes.
We?
This is we. Yes.
We. Wheat.
Yes.
We got a spicy little lineup for you guys, as per usual, I believe.
Ooh, something very delicious. Obviously, we've discussed this in the past about the 488 Pista. The first reviews are out. There's a couple reviews that came out a week ago by some car bloggers, or like the one that we're going to discuss is actually by Autocar. But there were some other ones that came out, but they were in Italian, right. And so I was not. The first not American, but the first English version came out.
First Brit
in the last couple days ago. I mean, we already know the car looks insane. It doesn't sound, at least in the videos, doesn't sound as good as the Speciale or the 458s did. But I mean, that's to be expected. It's a turbocharged version of the new V8 turbocharged engine from Ferrari. But the specs are pretty insane. The car itself has 710 horsepower, 568 foot-pounds of torque. Ferrari claims a dry weight of 2,800 pounds.
So paperweight, basically.
Well, dry weight is like no liquids, right? So no fuel, no brake fluid, no radiator fluid, no bone dry.
And in the car world, about 2,000 pounds is like a piece of paper.
Yeah. Most car manufacturers give the weight with the actual fluids in. Ferrari loves to give the dry weight, which is not accurate because but it makes the car seem like it's super light.
You can't run the car.
so for instance, Huracan Performante 3,047 pounds. McLaren 720S 3,100 pounds. GT2 RS 3,250. So, I mean, but those are all wet weights. So, the GT2 RS weight is actually with a full tank of gas. So, I mean, who knows if that... I mean, we know the 2821 is not the real weight that it's going to be.
Yeah.
I would imagine you're probably going to have maybe a couple hundred pounds in fluid once everything is said and done.
Probably 3. I'd say 3.
So, I would say the car is probably going to be a lot closer to 3,000 pounds, which the last 458 Speciale, I want to say, was between 3 and 3,100 pounds. So it should be around that weight, but obviously it's going to be a hell of a lot more power. The outgoing Speciale, which was the previous version of this car, was 600 horsepower, and it was naturally aspirated, so the foot-pounds of torque were down. I think it was 400 foot-pounds of torque approximately. I mean, again, the car looks sick. I can't wait for them to all be pitted together.
Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, McLaren. Can you guys please do just one special race with those 4 models?
No, it's gonna happen. I mean,
at the Nürburgring.
The only thing about the 720S that if the 720S gets even close to any of these cars, which it should because it's a monster car.
Yeah.
The 720S is not even the track version of that car yet. That is just the road car. It's just a regular. There's gonna be a track version of the 720S. So it's dude. So I'm curious to see. We all know, Ferrari they got their work cut out for them going up against the GT2 RS, the Performante, and the McLaren 720S. So let's see where that measures against those cars. We know that Porsche always punches well above its weight. So, I'm curious to see. We know the Nürburgring time of that car, which was nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see.
Fast.
I'm curious to see where this one stacks up. But visually, the car looks stunning. Has a hell of a lot of aero. Interior is, Ferrari interior, a lot of carbon. A little bit more minimalistic than the 488, obviously, because they had to strip it down for weight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely am extremely excited to see what this car can do on track. And I hope that, Ferrari brings the heat.
On touching base on Le Mans, all right, it's a lovely event in France that, you got some racing and stuff like that, but you also have sometimes a debut of a new vehicle.
Yes.
And in question is the brand new BMW 850i, and my God.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Amazing car.
Hey, what can I say, man? BMW's bringing the heat.
They're catching on. We touched base on this, I believe, on the last episode or the past 2 episodes of how they're getting the hint. Mercedes got it a while back, and they're getting more aggressive with their aerodynamics and the overall design of the car. So we're seeing a lot more aggressiveness from the actual BMW lineup in the coming years, I hope. And I please keep it going. Like this is awesome.
In the last episode, we talked about me saying that the X5 had the new X5 has some of the nicest rear lights that I've seen on a BMW, and it looks like it's gonna start making its way through all the lineups because the 8 series has those same very skinny, like narrower rear lights, which look really, really nice on the car. The car looks for being just the GT version, not like the M8. This is just their. I mean, it is the 850, so it's the more powerful version, but it looks really aggressive. I'm sure this probably has an M Sport package or something like that that gives you that aggressive front bumper. It comes standard with the laser headlights that we discussed in the last episode.
It's sporting the dad telling the son that he did something wrong with his eyes. So just like eyebrows down, very aggressive. Yeah. It's just,
it's sporting
room.
It's sporting the 4.4 liter twin turbo V8 with 523 horsepower, 553 foot-pounds of torque, which moves this behemoth at 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, which doesn't sound super impressive nowadays, but it is fast for a car that weighs 4,478 pounds.
4,500 pounds.
Which is an SUV.
Yeah, pretty much.
This car is built on the 7 Series platform, which is the same platform as the Rolls-Royce Ghost and the Wraith. If for those of you who don't know, BMW owns Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
So, it's not uncommon for manufacturers that, a manufacturer that owns other car manufacturers to use share platforms, share parts. It's an economy of scales. They save a lot of money by doing that, so that's pretty normal practice. But it gives you a sense of how long the wheelbase is on this car because the 7 Series is massive.
And if you can't tell and you don't want to take our word for it, you get these 3 cars and press the lock button, and they all sound the same.
Yes. All BMWs and Rolls Royces all sound the same. So from 30 grand to $500,000, or I would imagine even the boat tail, that sold, the swept tail that sold for $13 million, probably has a BMW 320i locking sound. So yeah, no, man, the car looks really nice. I'm excited for, obviously, I'm very excited for the M version of this car. So whenever they do an M8, which I hope they do, I hope they don't do the whole the 850M like.
I would imagine. Well, what I'm excited about, because I would imagine that they're gonna do like a WEC version of that car.
Well, no, they had. Okay, so
they have one, yeah.
So the M8 GTE car, which is what they've been racing in IMSA and Le Mans, which I believe they started racing that this year. They had been racing the outgoing Z8 or the Z8. And then this year, or I want to say end of last year, they unveiled their new WEC World Endurance Championship and IMSA race cars. So which was the M8. So we had an idea of kind of what it was going to look like, and that it was coming because they had the race car first.
Right.
So yeah, no, but this is actually on the flesh now. Everything before has been like prototypes and things like that, but it looks absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, man, I can't wait to see the
keep it up.
Yeah, no.
Please.
This car's to go against the Mercedes-Benz, like the S Coupe.
They're in the running now, for sure.
Looks good. The rear lights kind of have like an i8 lookish design.
Well, the front's impressive.
Yeah,
the front is really aggressive.
The car looks super nice. The interior looks The interior is pretty standard with the across the line now. They're BMW interiors. Most of them start to look pretty much the same. So, but again, it's the new upgraded interior that the M5 has,
right?
And some of the newer vehicles, the new X5 has it as well. So it looks very clean, very nice. But yeah, I like this. I like this car a lot, actually. I like the 8 Series.
I feel that you set up the perfect segue a couple of words ago about Mercedes-Benz and like German automakers and
Why do I feel like I know where this is heading?
Because I don't think any German automakers have been in trouble in the news or anything like that lately.
It has
right?
been a while.
Yeah,
it's been like 2 years. Actually, no, because the BMW offices got raided like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Which I want to say was because of some possible emissions issues.
So, unsurprisingly, another popular German automaker is in the news for the same Dieselgate overall emissions scandal. Mercedes-Benz, obviously, we're talking about because it's the last one left out. You guys know about VW, which is Audi and all the companies that they own. They were the first ones to start this trend. And then the dominoes kept falling from there. BMW got rated, as William said, a couple months ago. And now, apparently, Mercedes is in that same bed.
Yeah. The German Transport Ministry, initially there had been reported that there were 774,000 vehicles across Europe that had unauthorized emissions cheating software. The German Transport Ministry has only ordered 238,000 cars to come in for recalls. But yeah, I'm not super surprised, to be honest. I mean, I'm waiting for the last domino, the last chip to fall, which is going to be BMW. But it's not uncommon that all these like big car makers get together and discuss things and share information and secrets and control the market when it comes to like pricing, things of that nature. I mean, so I'm not surprised. I mean that these, at least for now, VW and Mercedes or Daimler have been accused of this and have actually done it. So we'll see how bad it is, but to be honest, I don't expect anything to happen to them except for maybe like in VW's case, I guess one guy went to jail.
Yeah,
and
someone had to do time.
So nothing really is going to happen. They're going to pay fines. They're going to make the money up the next year. They declare it as a loss in their taxes.
Yes, I will say this to the average commoner, like us viewers, the fine rate for example, VW, which were the first companies to come on and get penalized for this, $25 billion in fines and penalties. Just for this, which of course is like last month's revenue, I'm sure, for them. But wow. And that's billion with a B, not million, billion in fines.
Yeah, I don't really think that's gonna hurt them at all. These are companies that are making hundreds of billions of dollars a year, like net revenue, like after expenses. So I mean, it's like not.
Yeah, I don't think it's not gonna phase them.
It's fine. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, they're writing a check.
It's not great to give it away.
Yeah,
but it's fine, and they'll learn their lesson. They'll fix it, and hopefully not do it again. But car makers are always they're trying to cut corners somehow, some way, and they got away with it for a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah.
So calculate how much money they made throughout the decades where they were selling cars with these cheating, all this cheating software, and then subtract the fines that they're going to pay, and they're still up.
Yeah, no.
So it's like,
come on, listen. As soon as that was a very casual meeting, they sat down. Look, you're gonna have to pay. This is the amount we're gonna have to pay. Oh, they had coffee, the whole 9 yards. They had a little breakfast. They were sitting like, I'm sure, Lake Como somewhere, and they were like, oh, where do you want me to sign now, or it's $25 billion? Are you sure? Is that number exact?
Well, and then you calculate the amount of money they saved by not doing things the right way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus what they made on the actual car itself, and then you subtract what they paid in fines. Like these guys are laughing. Like they're just laughing.
That's
to be
it?
honest,
$25 bill.
So
Come on, bro.
It's a shame that they had to do that, but again, it's something that in due time, everything comes to light, and
whatever is what they say. They said that whatever.
They're saying whatever,
but aren't they 25 billion? I don't know why I went. Did I go Asian right now?
You just
25 billion.
You went like you're the guy that owns the Chinese restaurant in Germany.
Only 25 billion. Sorry to all my Asians.
Yeah. I think that was an accurate Asian that owns a
that owns like a Canton Star, but in Germany.
I think that was pretty accurate. I think that was accurate.
What we got next?
All right, so in the spirit of 24 hours du Le Mans,
and the 1966 Ford GT going on sale for roughly estimated like 20 million. If you guys are not familiar, this is the first official battle that Ford and Ferrari had in the very first Le Mans, if not the very couple first Le Mans and whatnot, where the GT was born, because Ferrari was dominating the sport before the Americans came in.
The Americans.
So,
yeah, so we have the Ford GT GTE, which is the race version of the Ford GT that you guys have probably seen online.
Yeah.
And the Ferrari 488 GTE, which is the race version of the Ferrari 488. The Ferrari is sporting a V8 twin turbo, 490 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque. The Ford is sporting a 3.6 liter twin turbo EcoBoost V6 engine that you can also find in the F-150, producing 530 horsepower and 94 foot-pounds of torque. And then you guys are going to ask yourselves, hey, Willie and Brian, why are these figures lower than the road car? And that's a very good question.
It is because it's the regulation.
It's the regulation. These cars are regulated by the FIA, so they have a cap as to how much power they can make. They have weight requirements. They have a lot of things that they have to comply with in order to be able to race in certain series. So obviously the road cars don't have such restrictions, so they can go balls to the walls, as they say. And so this is obviously an epic battle between these two cars. I personally love the sound and looks of the 488 GTE better than the Ford GT.
I will agree.
I will say, we cannot deny that the Ford GT, since it came out, has been dominating almost everything.
By a lot. Like not even a short measure. No, by a lot.
So they did an incredible job aerodynamically on that car. The engine sounds like crap. It actually, when the downshifts sound like farts. And I'll actually post a video that I have on my phone for the YouTube viewers of I'll put some audio in here as well.
I'm doing a good job,
podcast.
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what it sounds like. Yeah, I'll put some from the 24-hour from the Rolex 24-hour that me and Brian attended. I have some good video of and noises.
Amazing cars, and I can only imagine that the gentlemen behind these two cars were thinking, "What the hell is in there?" Because obviously they're not using the V8s, of yesteryear, basically, but. These cars were lengths in front, like they were just
and they came back. They hadn't been racing for a while, and they came back to fight. The lengths of Porsche and Ferrari, and these are companies that know racing. So it was incredible to have them come in. And the first year they were back, they won. Second year they were back, they won. And this is, I want to say, the third year now, and
they're probably gonna win.
Like they might win again. So, the Ford GT is super cool. I wish they would have kept the V8 from the old car, but
I can't even.
You know how it goes. They need to make cars lighter.
Yeah.
They need to, it is what it is. But I don't love the sound of that engine. It doesn't sound compared when you see them all on a racetrack, you could barely hear that car because. What you do hear is the downshifts, because it makes a really weird noise, a distinct noise. But the Ferraris and obviously the 911 RSR is super loud. I'm gonna go Ferrari here. I just like the way they look. I like the fact that it's still a V8. But stat wise, the GTs are doing way better than
like looks wise. I would say it's because I love Ferrari, but it's very. I'm not sure if it's neck and neck because the new Ford looks amazing. Like it does, yeah. I mean, for me, like the wing, I probably would have made it like the entirety of the back, not just that little piece that comes out in the middle. I mean, obviously there's design and a lot of sciences that goes into that.
Yeah.
So, but it's amazing. Both cars are amazing. The Ferrari, like Will said, is very. The notes and the baritone, like exhaust and everything, is amazing, and the downshifts when you're going in from like the front straight in Daytona to that first curve. Oh man, like I can literally just breakfast. Actually, we had breakfast.
We did have breakfast
as they were running.
It was 24 hours. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough on the body.
So if you guys want a bit of more history on how this feud started, there's a bunch of documentaries online on Prime Video and a bunch of stuff that give you precisely the very birth of the supercar and like this sport becoming much more exciting than just Ferrari winning every year, you know?
Yeah, Le Mans is, I mean, for those of you who don't know, Le Mans is one of the most famous races of all time. I mean, there's a few races. There's Le Mans. There's Monaco, which is the most famous Formula One race.
Yeah.
There is the Indy 500. That is the most famous IndyCar race.
Yeah.
There is the Daytona for NASCAR. You know, so there are races in each series that are the most famous races of their class. So I mean, it's a pretty epic race. It's not for the faint of heart. You race for 24 hours. Yeah. So it's there's a lot that can go wrong in 24 hours. The people it's not like a Formula One race where you're like, okay, the guy that qualifies, the top 3 that qualify have a really good chance of getting on a podium. Yeah, on the 24-hour of Le Mans, like you could be the last guy that qualified and win the race.
Yeah.
Or you could be you could have qualified first and end up like 10th. So it's an awesome race.
Yeah, for me, I know racing's gotten a lot safer and stuff like that. I mean, when you start looking at these documentaries at the very start, these guys didn't even have seatbelts on. Like it was just like you knew, getting in there that you could die or get thrown, or like the wishes of someone driving in there is that if they did get into a wreck, they were hoping that they would get ejected from the car.
Yeah, and a lot of these, and a lot of those,
the best case scenario.
In a lot of those races, like they knew going in that someone was gonna die. Mm-hmm. They didn't, you never knew if it was. Obviously, everybody hoped it wasn't them, but they knew based on the prior races that every race, at least in Formula One, every race someone died.
Yeah.
Which was an insane statistic. So definitely. If you guys, if you've never seen any of those races, I would suggest you tune in. It's tough to watch the whole thing, but it's cool to see, the sunrise on the 24-hour of Le Mans. Yeah. It's cool to watch the sunset as well. The night racing is really cool. It's insane what these guys are doing, in parts of the track that are pitch black. It's interesting to see all the different classes of cars racing together, which in World Endurance Championship and in IMSA, you get to see, 3 to 4 different classes of cars racing together, in which, you have to take all those things into account, overtaking slower cars, faster cars coming in behind you. You got to let them pass, so it's really cool.
To kind of end this today's head-to-head, you guys should definitely check out Steve McQueen's Le Mans. That's a great film.
Sure. Yeah,
that'll give you insight of what it was in like one of the I want to say glorious years of motor racing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely check that out.
For sure. So getting into our But Why segment, have you ever gone into a car wash and you're like, man, this is taking a really long time. This is super annoying. I'm getting out of here right now.
How can I rush this?
This is bullshit. And you just hit reverse and start riding out while the thing's still washing your car.
And the little light's telling you not to move?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck it.
I'm frustrated. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? And then, this happened to somebody was this in China?
I believe so.
Yeah. I guess, this person was a little bit impatient, and the automatic car wash thing was going still. The red light was still saying, don't move. And this genius decided to reverse out with the thing, that spinny, that big spinny, like it looks like a paint roller thing that comes on top of your car.
The thing that when you were a kid, you were like, wow.
That thing is just like... It was still on top of his car, and... Or she, could have been a she as well. And I guess this person starts reversing out. Yo, the entire moving apparatus lands on top of the car, which is amazing. And thank you, technology, for video, cameras, and being able to record everything nowadays so we don't miss anything.
If you guys need to know exactly what the car was, it's like a Dodge Stratus from like the 90s. So the machine did us all a favor.
I mean, yeah, this car needed to go out anyways.
Yeah. That's it. It's overdue.
Dude, that is epic.
It's hilarious, to say the most, or the least, actually.
Yo. The question is, how do you get out? Because like you can't get out of the car right now. I mean, we'll put some images up on the YouTube so you guys can see what we're talking about.
Mind you, it's funny. If you guys are inquiring, no one died. Okay, yeah. It's just it smashed literally the back half of the car because that machine, I'm assuming, weighs about a ton. Yeah. Okay, obviously the machine's on a track, but I guess by him reversing or her reversing,
the roller was on top of the car still. So when he started reversing, it pulled the roller and the thing all on top of his car.
So now
hilarious.
In the process of that person wanting to leave in a hurry, they now have to take longer to stay there. And,
you're gonna see an increase in insurance jobs now, where people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, the car wash thing fell in my car. It's crazy. I was just trying to get a car wash."
In this case, I was trying to leave and the machine fell on me.
Bro, come on.
I can't.
Come on.
I can't do it. It's got to be the German one.
Yeah, the Asian viewers are not gonna be happy about that. So.
It happened over there. What do you want me to do?
So that was, and I mean, it's all bad. It's all bad, bro. It's all bad. There's nothing good there.
It's one of those. It's like a meme. That just like if it was stuck on your phone, you'd be like, it's funny. Like, it can play on your wallpaper. Just keep playing.
The funny thing is, like, the thing is lit up and it says stop. And it's just like, stop. It's basically telling him, stop. No, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Like, no. Just right there. It's fine. Just
seriously, stop.
Let me clean your car. No.
I wonder, like, he was almost done with the car wash, too. Like damn it. He only got, like, half the car washed.
I don't know what the process is, or maybe I forgot the process.
Do you think he got half of the car wash money back? Like, they were like, yo, you only got to clean half the car, so we'll give you a rain check for the next one?
Bro, if this would have happened in Miami, that person would have blamed it all on the machine.
Bro, that would happen in Miami. The guys would have filed a lawsuit against, like, the car wash place and everybody. He's not coming out of the car. They're taking him on a stretcher.
The guy would have owned that car wash. Like, the chain of car washes in that zip code are his.
I came here for a car wash once, and now I own the place.
What happened? The case is still open.
It's confidential.
Yeah, the case is still open, so I'm not. No.
Dude, insane. Well, that pretty much wraps up our show for today. We're gonna end on automatic car wash landing on a car. That's how you do it.
As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any comments or suggestions on maybe head-to-heads we might have in the future, or maybe any other hilarious things that might have happened like this, or you guys all remember the Mustang that caught fire via Mother Nature.
Yes.
So things of that nature, if you guys want us to review or make fun of them, please.
Yeah, and if this is your first episode, definitely go through some of our previous ones. We got some hilarious topics and very informative when it comes to cars and the car world, which is our goal for you guys, to try to give you guys as much advice and information as possible, and try to keep it light.
And again, as always, any suggestions of any type of topics or anything you guys have, let us know, and we'll take it into
any
review.
Feedback, like if Brian's head is too big for like the frame or something like that, anything like that, that's cool.
Or if my shirt's too loud for you, then you can go.
Or if you'd like to see Brian in anything but a floral shirt. That's also
Comment, but I will not oblige.
Yes, please.
So,
just
sorry.
let us know how you feel about that. All right. Well, take care, guys. Have a great weekend.